गुजरात की पूरी दुनिया में धूम मची हुई है.
Gujarat has been drawing some of India's biggest projects: Micron semiconductor plant, the bulk truck park, and the newly inaugurated Tata-Airbus facility, for example. These projects have another commonality. They were first lined up for other states but ended up in Gujarat at the last minute.
और ये सब किसने किया है? गुजरात में ये परिवर्तन कौन लाया है?
Coincidence? Leaders from Maharashtra's opposition don't think so.
गुजरात तो भैया आपके प्रोजेक्ट जा रहे हैं, वो काला धन अलग है, मगर आपके प्रोजेक्ट जा रहे हैं.
They argue that the Modi government is actively nudging investors towards Gujarat. Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and Karnataka governments too have been expressing similar concerns, asserting that their bids were sidelined in favor of Gujarat. Political rhetoric aside, is the Modi government tilting scales in Gujarat's favor?
गुजरात के.
To get to the bottom of it, I spoke with ministers, bureaucrats, and company insiders from 5 states. What emerged? A telling pattern. 5 discrete strategies used to steer investments from other states straight to Gujarat. Let me explain. While Prime Minister Modi is busy promoting India as the perfect place to invest, opposition leaders argue that this investment boom is happening in just one direction. They allege Gujarat is getting unique benefits like huge capital subsidies, import duty cuts, and fast-track approvals that other states simply don't get. Before I get into the specifics, remember that both Newslaundry and the News Minute are ad-free platforms and we take funds only from you. And since we're anyway talking about investments, here's a quick reminder to invest in democracy, invest in a better tomorrow, invest in independent journalism. Become a News Minute and Newslaundry subscriber. By the way, my team and I are traveling across Maharashtra and Jharkhand for elections, where we'll bring you voices that matter. Support our coverage because we only have your interest in mind, not of political parties or corporates with vested interest. You can support our election coverage by contributing to our NL Sena fund. And also make sure you write to me at pooja@thenewsminute.com with what stories you want me to look at and any feedback for this episode. Now back to Gujarat. Let's look at some specific cases. Tamil Nadu says a project worth 6,000 crores was originally set for Chennai, but with a little nudge from the union government, it ended up in Gujarat. Telangana had its hopes pinned on a semiconductor plant, but they lost it to Gujarat after what they described as arm twisting from the PMO.
A large multinational company wanted to set up its large manufacturing facility here because their R&D is here in Hyderabad. They were arm twisted by way of PLI, the production linked incentive scheme that was launched by Government of India. They were told very bluntly that only if you go to Gujarat will you get this, otherwise there's enough competition. There are other people who are probably going to outwit you in this race. So the only choice is Gujarat.
And a Karnataka minister says that a semiconductor company was told that if they want incentives, they shouldn't invest in enemy states and go to Gujarat instead. No, they were not talking about an enemy country like either China or Pakistan, but apparently states like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, basically opposition ruled states. But this raises the question, why Gujarat? Let's focus on 2 key regions, Gift City and Dholera. They both offer exclusive incentives that just cannot be matched by any other state. You see, the union government has the discretion to grant these incentives and they've all gone to Gujarat. Gift City is India's first international financial services center and stands out with perks that seem too good compared to the rest of the country. Now, originally, Mumbai was supposed to be India's global finance hub, as recommended by a committee in 2007. That didn't take off at the time for different reasons. And then in 2008, Chief Minister Modi proposed Gift City in Gujarat. Now cut to 2014, Modi became the Prime Minister and he immediately cleared for the International Finance Hub to be established, not in Mumbai, but in Gujarat. And since then, there's been no effort spared by the Modi government to direct investments there, whether the investors want to or not. Here's what's on offer. Companies in GIFT City enjoy massive tax breaks, like 100% income tax exemption for the first 10 years, no securities or commodity transaction taxes, and a low 9% minimum alternative tax. They can also transact in foreign currencies without the usual hassles. Plus, state-of-art office spaces, advanced power grids, and an integrated transit system with seamless connectivity. Then there's Dholera, a mega industrial hub nearby, marketed as a high-tech hub with government-backed infrastructure, flexible labour laws, and a dedicated power supply. With both GIFT City and Dholera, Gujarat clearly has an edge. So you tell me, is this a smart financial hub strategy, or are we seeing a little bit of favoritism here? But guess what? When the incentives don't seem enough, methods that are, questionable behind-the-scenes manipulation has been employed. Sources reveal that officials allegedly use what's being called helicopter diplomacy when just throwing incentives at companies isn't enough. Modi government added a bit of flair to their approach. Now imagine this. A foreign company comes to India. They're interested in setting up shop either in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu. They sit down for meetings with officials of either Niti Aayog or Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And after the meeting, they get a full-on pitch for Gujarat, specifically for GIFT City and Dholera. Ministers and officials giving a strong nudge, saying, hey, why don't you take a look at Gujarat? And this isn't even a rumor. We confirmed this with at least 5 sources who all shared similar stories. Let me give you an example. A big semiconductor company from the US was all set to invest in Chennai. And after some friendly meetings and Prime Minister Modi's US trip, things took a sudden turn. They were whisked away in a helicopter to Gujarat, definitely not part of their original plan. The message was crystal clear. Move your investment to Gujarat and you'll get incentives. The union government promised huge capital subsidies, only and only if the project is in Gujarat. In the case of Micron, the Modi government has given a 50% subsidy for its Gujarat unit. By the way, initially Telangana had been a front-runner for Micron's $2 billion plus semiconductor facility, but Gujarat won the project eventually. Without political pressure, this decision makes little sense because Telangana has a thriving electronic ecosystem. An official in Telangana told me that when they asked why projects like Micron or Keynes were being redirected to Gujarat, they were told that the union government is planning to build a semiconductor hub in India, and Gujarat was chosen for the first cluster. After this was saturated, then other states will get their chance. Now the question here is, why was Gujarat chosen over states like Telangana, Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or even Maharashtra for that matter, states that have been working for decades to build an ecosystem? It doesn't end there. Gujarat got 4 big projects and then the union government started looking at other states. And guess who gets chosen? 2 BJP-ruled states, Uttar Pradesh and Assam, both of whom had no prior experience in this industry. You might have heard about the Vedanta Foxconn project that again went to Gujarat, but that's not all that Maharashtra lost. Within 2 months of the Shinde-Fadnavis government, Tata-Airbus project, originally planned for Nagpur, was also moved to Vadodara. Why? Those speaking for the union government made it very clear that orders for the project will come only if the company is based in Gujarat. You see, the Tata-Airbus unit is meant to manufacture military transport aircraft for the Indian Air Force. And if the orders don't come from the union government, there'll be no market at all for their products. And it doesn't stop there. Maharashtra also missed out on 2 big projects, a 3,000 crore bulk drug park and a medical devices park meant for Aurangabad. Now you know where this project actually went. It's as if Gujarat was always the first choice. Despite having better infrastructure and industry presence, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu were overlooked in Modi government's push for textile and pharma hubs, which again were gifted to Gujarat. The union government handed 2 major projects to Gujarat, leaving other states without a chance to present their case. Take PM Mitra scheme, for example. That was a textile park that was expected to create around 3 lakh jobs with a 500 crore investment for infrastructure. When states miss out on such big investments, it's not just about lost funds. It's a hit to economic growth, jobs, and local businesses. Even the state's reputation with future investors suffer. FDI has nearly doubled between 2014 and 2024, But the opposition argues that most of this distribution is heavily tilted towards BJP-ruled regions. Even when Prime Minister Modi travels abroad, which is quite often, Gujarat often takes centre stage. He's even promoted Gift City and Dholera directly to business delegations from American Chamber of Commerce. Is the India story becoming the Gujarat story? Of course, Gujarat has to be developed, but the union government shouldn't play favourites at the cost of other states which have been working hard to create favourable ecosystem and woo investors. Is this simply good economics, or is Gujarat becoming India's exclusive business hub? With allegations of favouritism piling up, it's the right time to ask, are we witnessing an economic imbalance that undermines the federal principles?